Financial partners, Don and Gino.
Isn't it nice now, for over 2.5 years, going on 3 years now, you have had some friends in the business. Everybody wants friends to help them out with advice and direction. And it's not just Don and Gino, it's Don, Gino, and a slew of the very best experts that are accountable to you right here in Santa Clarita. It's a beautiful thing because everybody has been given poor advice, and it costs you. It costs you a lot. And our guest today, Mr. Lou Esbin with Esbin Law, I bet you've seen that happen often, haven't you?
Too often.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just.
I mean, you have to fix some of those messes.
Yeah. People come to me, and I offer a 1-hour consultation. What do I charge? $100. It's a fraction of what it's worth. It's a fraction.
Absolutely.
And they'll go off and talk to someone else, and they'll do the Walmart thing and go off somewhere else, and then they'll come back. I went to someone else, and can you fix it for me?
After the fact, after they kind of made it even worse, of course.
It's hard.
Because we have that in the mortgage industry. The clients will call us up. We'll give them a quote based on a professional service that they can rely on, that makes a big difference whether their offer gets accepted or not. And they're like, well, I saw online this other interest rate or whatever. A, who's accountable? B, try calling the same person twice.
Right.
And see what happens when it all comes down to the end. And when you call them back for any kind of advice, see how good that advice is. Our advice, I know, saves our clients tens of thousands of dollars. We added up last year. It was millions of dollars worth of interest we saved our clients last year, because there's more than just a loan. It's also we have mortgages and management, meaning we continually look at your financial situation and see if you are paying more interest than you need to be paying. So a lot of times we'll look at them and go, hey, your interest rate is this, or you're paying mortgage insurance. We can get rid of that. We've done this. So there's so much more to getting quality advice. Just like, people can go to, attorneys are us, and it's going to cost them in the long run. They are not going to save.
Well, you know what it is, I've struggled with this, for the 28 years of my career, is getting people to understand that you go to a lawyer not when it's too late, but before anything happens. Like when we were working on the APRG, I think that we all got an incredible lesson in what it takes to actually start up a business. And
my goodness.
Details. And
yeah, 8 months later.
But what I think what we brought from all of that is the importance of the details and sweating the details, so that when we bring people into the APRG, we have gone through this ourselves, and we will be better able to provide advice and counseling to our members. And that's the most difficult thing as a lawyer. Look, I remember I was trading distressed debt for Wall Street broker-dealers in New York, and I was doing a deal for a very large bank, and I analyzed the deal, and I said, hey, look, I really think you should take this deal. And they said to me, what do you know? You're just a lawyer. I went, okay, I'm a lawyer who graduated from with a business degree in finance and accounting, and I know how to crunch numbers, and sure enough, they didn't just take my advice. 6 months later, the deal cratered, and they came back to me. I went, so now what do you want me to do? And this was a very large institution.
And if you just tuned in, you're listening to the Don and Gino Real Estate and Finance Show on your hometown station, AM 1220 KHS. That's right. We're with you every Thursday, 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. And we're sitting here with Lou Esbin with Esbin Law, talking about what's going on with today in the economy, where we're going, what to do about your debt, all that good stuff. Lou, and one of the things that we can touch on, because a lot of you out there, I love your statement, Gino, was the ho 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 to oh
and then
when they got their bill back.
Well, you and I were doing HOHO, OHOH, and then Lou says it was OWE.
Yeah, OWE.
All right, so you got a lot of wit and humor going on today. So if you OWEOOO, what do they do now? I mean, it's really exciting to get involved in the holidays. Kids are so enabled these days. You have to go buy the $200 pair of Nikes, and you have to buy them their tablets and their new phone and all that.
Xbox One this year.
Yeah, exactly. And it's not you have to. It's amazing, like the pressure you have these days to do this. When we were kids, I got track shoes and liked it. That's all you got.
I got
you didn't have an
coal.
option. Yeah, I got coal. Well, you still get coal.
I still-
That's not true. You're married to Sue. You did all right, man.
I absolutely did. 27 years on January 18th.
Wow.
Ooh,
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Nicely done.
Thanks.
You married up like we did.
Yep.
So now that a lot of you out there have a tremendous amount of debt, and it's going to create stress. And we should have Jim Reap on the show at the same time. Since
Jim and I
he's
should
over.
do a gig together.
Yeah, because that January is the #1 month for divorce filings. #1 by far. And a lot of it has to do with, some people say it's because people want to stick around during the holidays. They don't want to have that conversation or that stress during the holidays. But the other one is, without a doubt, when you agree, debt stress.
Absolutely. And what we see is that filings slow down between Thanksgiving and New Year's, because you've got the holidays, you have people who are feeling everything will get better. Certain people put their head where the sun don't shine, and we're not talking about snowdrifts.
Not here in California.
Not
We
here
haven't
in
seen that in a long
California,
time.
And so then what happens is that at the end of January, the bill statements come in. They're like, oops.
Yeah.
And then the second half of the property tax installment is due. Oops. And then the kid's tuition is due. Oops. And then, in April you have taxes. And so what happens...
How many of you out there right now going, huh, that sounds familiar?
But it's, and it's cyclical. Yeah, I mean, every year see the same thing. And,
I really thought it was just because you had to hang out with your spouse's family members for the last couple of weeks of the year.
Okay, Gino.
Boy, you're in trouble, man.
I only have one. She's my mother-in-law that comes in, and
You
I love
brag
her.
about
She's
her, though.
great.
You
yeah,
do.
no,
You do
she's
brag
amazing.
about her.
I was just joking.
Yes.
But the point is that people need to realize that they need to own up to these things early on, because when they wait too long, it really it festers.
Well, let's talk about that. We have a few minutes left, because I know in my history, anybody likes to put their head in the sand,
Right.
kick the can down the road, kind of
Right.
like our government with our debt.
Footnote.
Yeah, exactly. Oops, did that slip? But it's so easy to just push it down the road, but all it does is get worse. And any time, and we do this really well at Cherry Creek now, when we have a situation, we jump on it and we eat the biggest frog first. We take care of it, and every time, I'll say every time, it's a relief, actually.
Mhm.
It's a relief to just get that stress off our head. And I would imagine, Lou, this happens when they come to you and you say, hey, you have options. What happens when you see their reaction when you give them their options?
Well, look, every time I greet somebody, when they come into my office, I say, it's really good to see you. Well, it's not good to see you.
Yeah.
It's like, it's like I'm going to be giving them a colonoscopy, And my job at the end of that hour is to make them feel better about themselves. So if when they leave my office, they're thanking me and they look like they've got that albatross off of their neck.
There's the word, right?
Then I know that I've done my job, at least in part.
Well, that's why we like having you on the show, Lou, and that's why we appreciate you listening, because you get to learn that the guests we have on, the experts we have on, are real people. They're here to help you. I mean, we hang out with Lou and Sue, and they're real. They're not the boogeymen.
No, and I mean, if you listen to what he just said, he cares.
Absolutely.
Right? It's not transactional.
No,
it's relational. It's a long-term relationship. Whether they need your services or not, if they feel better and got good advice, then it was a good day.
That's right. That's right.
And we've seen that with a lot of the clients we've sent. Some of them you've helped. You helped out one huge. You did a great job for them, by the way. He's very
And
happy.
that was
a business transaction.
That was a business transaction. That was a mediated dispute.
And we'll talk about
yeah,
some
we
of
need
the
to
areas.
talk a little bit more about that, because
Not right now.
Okay.
I don't want to get off track, because I want to make sure, because that's a great topic. I want to talk about the other areas, Lou, that you help out some of our clients, but I don't want to get off track of their options. Why they should go see you now? I mean, we were talking about timing, but what kind of options?
Well, it's all about education.
Okay.
Okay. So there are bankruptcy options. There are non-bankruptcy options.
Okay.
Sometimes it's kind of getting into the heads of the people who I'm meeting with, and where are they at? And you realize, husband may have one idea of where they want to go, and the wife has another. And so I'm sitting there.
Oh, you get to play mediator.
Yeah. Now
It's a good thing you're a professional at that.
Yeah, you realize you're mediating everything. And it's like, okay, what are your priorities? And you got to try to find where their common priorities are. And so I haven't even gotten into the financial stuff yet. I'm just trying to figure out where these people are coming from. And that's often the problem, is that one has an idea of where they want to go, and it's different from the other.
Well, that's probably where the stress comes in with the relationship. And
It
if
is.
you can align them, or at least with a happy medium between the two, and then come up with a plan based on that, I would imagine alleviates a lot of that pressure.
And I had this recently where the husband was going in one direction. He was really optimistic, and the wife was a little bit less optimistic. And I said, look, I need to see a spreadsheet. Come on back. They came back, and they had a spreadsheet from their business. And he goes, I didn't realize we were losing that much money every week. And now all of a sudden that changed the dialogue. We were having a completely different conversation.
Right. So perspective is everything.
Perspective and reality.
Yeah, you see, he was optimistic because he wasn't in reality, and she's like, "Oh, I see the numbers. You don't see the numbers."
Right.
So yeah, that's an important piece. Bringing reality into. So what's nice is, Lou, they can come to you.
Right.
And it's Esbin Law, right off the old road. I mean, local, been out here forever, been in the business almost forever.
Thank you, Don.
28 years. So I've been at 26 years. We both started when we were very young. But they can come to you and get a consultation for a whopping $100 that can change their lives. Absolutely change their lives. And the best part about it is take that albatross, as you said, off their back.
Right.
Because that's horrendous. That weight of debt is bad. We've all been there.
You know,
Sorry.
I think one of the interesting things is that bankruptcy has this stigma.
Yeah.
You know, and you could speak more to it than I can, but it has this social or public stigma. I think it's better now because of what we just went through. I think everybody accepts that, okay, they understand it a little better, they see what it's about, and I don't think that the stigma is as great as it used to be. Do you still find that people are really concerned about that when they come into your office?
Sometimes, and when they voice that concern, I tell them I'm not going to have you wearing a scarlet B on your chest,
Big B for bankruptcy.
as opposed to an A.
All right, so we're giving you some relaxing advice from Esbin Law. We have some more great advice from Lou. We're going to talk about a little situation that you might have heard about from Target. Oops, that might have hurt. And a lot more when we come back to the Don and Gino Real Estate and Finance Show. Thank you for joining us. We'll be right back.
When the light is nearly gone.